in another direction. We're going to keep Jah well and add some new talent with him. We are gonna have to let you go.
We are going to discuss. Well, let's talk about the Grammy Awards.
Let's talk about the Grammy Awards.
And Natalie Cole and why I'm totally fine with what happened.
I think it was a little disrespectful. I think they should acknowledge her. But I also think there was a lot that went on that night that could have been, construed as revolutionary, or I think that it was.
You niggas don't matter.
On some end, yes, absolutely. When they did not acknowledge Earth, Wind, and Fire as a tribute, but merely as Lifetime Achievement Award nominees.
But listen, I told you that show would have been 8 hours long. Now,
you could have took off one of the artists that was performing.
They're not going to do that.
At the end of the day, this is why we say we should have our own. If you look at when you look at...
You got your own. And y'all got shootouts in the parking lot.
No, that's hip-hop awards.
Now you're singling out hip-hop.
Based on the type of music that is put out today. That's why that is the situation that happens.
That's why them white folks don't want y'all in the building.
Yeah, but they'll come to a show to sit and call each other niggas, and that's the problem. The performance of Kendrick Lamar.
Getting another phone call.
When you watched him perform...
Yeah, she's still here.
It was enlightening. It was profound, but it was nothing different than what we have seen hip-hop do in the late 80s and the early 90s. But I do say kudos for taking that chance and putting yourself out there. However, the conversation the next day, everyone sidestepped what he did on stage. They said, "Oh, I like it."
What did he do?
Well, he had a.
I seen it. No, I mean, what was so profound about it?
Because what he did was he had the elements. He had the African dances.
Yeah, okay.
Right? But he also had this. What his song was talking about was about change. It was talking about the oppression. It was talking about police brutality. Yeah. He addressed that situation. And like I said, it was nothing different than what we saw in the late 80s, early 90s. However,
you're floundering.
No, I'm not floundering.
Get to your point.
when you look at the people that were talking about the next day what happened, they did not have the same kind of
you had time to think about it.
No, they didn't even acknowledge it. They said, "Oh, I liked it," and they kept it moving. They didn't spend any time on it like they did with the Beyonce whole thing. And I think his was a little bit more controversial than even hers.
Why was it controversial? That's my point. I don't get that.
Because of the lyrics and because of the content of what he was saying, as well as the whole stage scene. You had him dealing with the core plantation issue. You had him dealing with the essence of African dance and making a connection to hip hop, and you had him talking about, again, oppression, police brutality, and all the other issues that are considered taboo nowadays. As we're talking about that, and we've been talking about for the past couple of days. And again, they were sidestepping the performance of Kendrick Lamar to talk about that situation about Beyonce's protesting at the Super Bowl at the NFL headquarters, but that wasn't even an issue because nobody showed up.
The problem comes in now. They have never ever noticed Public Enemy because they tell the truth. The powers that be, I'm not going to say it's black, not going to say it's white, but the power structure does not want to hear the truth. It's like, how dare you tell me the truth? So when you tell the truth, they label you controversial. The truth is never controversial, people.
At the end of the day, the Grammy Awards
was bogus, it's fake.
It was what it was. I was disappointed. I don't think I've ever really been enlightened.
Why you keep watching it?
You
were a slave.
Because it's like a train wreck.
You were a slave.
Wants to watch. No,
you was a slave.
No, I'm not a slave.
You were a slave.
No. I will say, when I was growing up, I loved the Grammy Awards. I loved the performances. I watched it from beginning to end, and I would tape all of the performances that I thought.
No, you didn't. Not when you was growing up, because they didn't have the technology.
They did have the VCRs. I thought the Grammys brought out a night of showmanship. As the '90s drew to a close, even I want to say even as early as '92, '93, I saw that the showmanship started to dwindle because they were concentrating on maybe commercialism more so than anything. But even though the Grammys is a big night, they always did focus on commercials because that was a part of that night. You would see the Pepsi commercials where they had Madonna or Michael Jackson or whatever like that, and then it would be tied in. It would be tied into the night events and the weekends events. But now I think that there's with the showmanship and the quality has been dwindled down.
So Pint is absolutely right. Now I may be saying what she's saying, but I'm saying it in a more complex.
Say it again.
No.
Say it again.
No.
You may be saying what I'm saying.
Hear me out. The artists got smarter, forcing the record labels to start signing people that are 16 and 17 years old. And so this is what you have.
When they signed 16 and 17-year-olds back then, you still have talent. When you look at an artist like Stevie Wonder, you look at an artist like Michael Jackson.
That was one.
They were talented and they put out quality, and it was quality work.
Michael Jackson rose from a child to superstardom, and so did Stevie Wonder. But none of those others did, unless you want to mention Donny Osmond. Okay, and this is what I'm talking about.
But again, still,
so
when you look at the quality,
I'm not talking about three people out of a whole musical genre. I'm talking about your Billy Joels. I'm talking about your adult Stevie Wonders. I'm talking about your Eagles and you have these people now. They don't need record labels because they're established. So what do you do now? You go and you get your Chris Browns, you get your Neos. These people. I'm not saying that they're not talented. I'm not saying not America, but what I am saying is that Chris Brown is not Luther Vandross, and he's never going to be. But the whole thing is you're dealing with people who are controllable. It's the same thing as why Nas, Big Daddy Kane, they're still viable. They make good records. Public Enemy, they make excellent records, but they're never going to get major deals anymore because they cannot be controlled, and therefore they're bad business decisions. That is a practice that people have done. Now, like remember R. Kelly, he did a 2-disc set, right? Mm-hmm. It was something like 28 songs. Mm-hmm. How many singles came off of that shit? Maybe 2, 1?
4, 5.
So how do you get 4 or 5 singles out of 28 songs?
Let us know what you think.
Hold on.
Let us know what you'd like to have a conversation about. Let us know whether or not you really like Jah well or you just want him to kick the bricks.
Hold on.
Okay? Either way.
Kick bricks.
That's right, kick bricks.
If anybody's going to be kicking bricks around, it's going to be you.
Either way, hit us up. Let us know what you're thinking. Show us your love. Thank you for
bricks.
coming out again.
Who she thinks she...
Peace.
Hold up, wait a minute. No. You got a phone call. It's your producer. Hello? Yeah, she's still here. Okay.
Jah will fix the funk again because we know he has no minutes.
Okay. All right. Okay, I got it. Okay. I'll call you next week. I'll call you before every show now. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Peace.